So let's go over to the AFC South now. Dalton, the Houston Texans are up here. Who is the guy that you really think could really help mold this team for the future?
Boy, after the free agency period, there's not a ton of holes with the Texans, but one thing I would like to see them get is another corner, and I think one that could be in reach with the 42nd overall pick is Ennis Rakestraw from Missouri. Texans run a lot of cover 3, cover 4, off coverage. They'll blitz you here and there. They started to blitz a little bit more later in the season as they needed to adjust some things. But for the most part, they're a zone team, very much in the same, D'Amico Ryan's in the same vein of like Robert Saleh, where they kind of rush forward and sit back in their zone defenses. But I'll take Rakestraw from Missouri, an 87.7 coverage grade in cover 3 and 4 the last couple of years. Just a really good lengthy zone corner that I think is an awesome complement to Derek Stingley. I know they signed some depth guys, even like Jeff Okudah in free agency, but I think Rakestraw would give them a legit number 2 corner that fits their system.
Yeah, that's a great call as well. So, yeah, I think Rakestraw, he's a guy that I really like for the Cardinals as well because they run a lot of zone coverage and then he could use help in that secondary, and I think he's going to be a good second-round pick as well. Actually, it kind of fits exactly where I'm doing here for the Indianapolis Colts for me. I don't think they're going to go with him on draft night, even though he will be there. But, I mean, if I'm the Colts, if I'm Chris Ballard, man, I'm taking this guy easily. It's Cooper DeJean from Iowa, who I think just fits Gus Bradley's defense perfectly. Last year, the Colts ran zone coverage on nearly 77% of their defensive snaps. The next closest team was about 69%. So the Colts run zone coverage more than anyone else in the draft, run off coverage more than anyone else in the draft, and Cooper DeJean excels in that role with his high IQ, his ability to play off coverage, his athleticism. I think he'd be a perfect fit in Indianapolis, who needs some more help in that secondary. And also, again, we don't subscribe to the belief that he needs to be a safety at the next level, but the Colts need some help at safety. He is capable of playing it if you really need him to. So I think he fits a couple needs for Indianapolis if he goes there. But I really like his fit as one of their starting outside corners in that zone-heavy, off-coverage-heavy scheme. That's really one of the only questions I have with Cooper DeJean. He's never really played press coverage. I think he's capable of it, don't get me wrong, but he's never really played it at Iowa. If he goes to Indianapolis, though, he'd kind of be a lot like that Iowa defense, and obviously he was fantastic in that Iowa defense, both as a run defender and in coverage, and I think Indianapolis, they're probably going to go with like a Quinyon Mitchell or Terrion Arnold, but I think for scheme fit-wise, I don't think it's a better scheme fit than Cooper DeJean going to the Colts at 15 overall.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing I was curious about is I was a little surprised you didn't go Brock Bowers there. I thought that was going to be the move. But DeJean, we've been talking about it too on the defensive side. It just makes a ton of sense. The Colts need a lot of help on the outside at corner. I'm keeping the run of corners going, though, in the division. And it seems, I guess, everybody in the AFC South needs cornerbacks. Jacksonville, give me Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo, man. I think you could argue he's the most talented corner in the draft. Highest graded corner in the FBS each of the last 2 seasons. Off coverage, press coverage. I've said it before. I think he's the corner in this draft. He's not quite as lengthy, but he plays the most like Sauce Gardner. And I think he's got top 5 sort of potential. And to pair him with Tyson Campbell after they brought in Eric Armstead to make their defensive line better, they lost Darius Williams. They need another corner. Ronald Darby's not a long-term solution. Quinyon Mitchell can be in Jacksonville. And him and Tyson Campbell, I think, very shortly would be one of the best cornerback pairs in the league.
Yeah, that's a great call as well. Yeah, and I think you could see both the Colts and Jaguars go for corner in the first round of this draft. I would not be surprised by that at all. Titans here, this one's going to be chalk, and I'll give another one too because I know this one's very chalk. But Titans fans should be on their hands and knees praying that Joe Alt falls there at number 7. I think he will. But I think this is a perfect marriage of need and value in the draft at number 7 overall. Joe Alt is probably the best tackle prospect since Penei Sewell, and the Titans desperately need help at offensive tackle right now. So I think this is going to happen on draft night. I think he will be there at number 7. If he is, they're going to sprint this card in. But Joe Alt, man, you see that 91 pass blocking grade, 90 zone grade, 85.4 true pass set. He really is just – I haven't really seen too many tackles like him who can combine both pass protection and run blocking and be elite at both. Like we talked about Olu Fashion already. We talked about Talisa Fuaga already. Fashion is an elite pass blocker. Work to do in the run game. Fuaga, really good run blocker. Still some work to do as a pass blocker as well. Joe Alt is just so complete as a prospect, man, that I think he is a slam dunk Pro Bowl tackle that the Titans could get. And in a weaker draft, he'd be a slam dunk top 5 pick as well. I just think the Titans should be really hoping that he falls there at 7 because I think if he doesn't go there, then it's like, if, say, like the Chargers take him or someone like that, or the Giants take him ahead of him, then the Titans could be scrambling a little bit. Then, I'm not as excited if I'm a Titans fan, but they should really be hoping for Joe Alt. As for maybe a later pick, I kind of like Braden Fisk going to them in the second round. I think that'd be a good pick for them at number 38 overall. They could use some help on the interior defensive line. I know they got Jeffrey Simmons there, but if you can get like a 3-tech like Braden Fisk in there to fill in for TK McClendon Jr., who's currently projected to start for them right now, that would really help them as well. And I think the defensive tackle is probably their second biggest need right now after offensive tackle. So I kind of like the Braden Fisk fit there for Tennessee there at number 38 overall in the second round.